I'd like to call this Stow Munroe City School Board meeting to order Monday, September 8th at 7:02. Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Armstrong?
Here.
Mrs. Bedio? Here. Mr. Conachie?
Here.
Mrs. Matthews? Here. Mrs. Powers?
Stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we move to item 3, comments from the audience, I want to again remind everyone that if you do have a comment, you approach the mic, please do not address anyone by name, either a school board official or an employee of the district. Also, we'll move to 3 minutes. Any comments? The audience.
Yes, it's me. Do you want us to identify ourselves?
State your name, where you live.
Kathleen Novak, I live in Cuyahoga Falls.
What's
Do I just- Okay, well, I'm a 6th grade teacher in Stow as well. But you'll probably know that after I speak. All right, so we have come, and I'm referring to some of the teachers that were able to accommodate the schedule to the meeting tonight, simply to advocate for our students. It is a very, very alarming to many of us that there is no plan in place to deal with these unbelievably high temperatures that are going on in the classroom. Each school year, we face this. The students are struggling because they're not only hot, but they're also starting to suffer from symptoms of heat exhaustion. So what I think is never really being shared is that, oh, it's hot, hopefully it's going to cool down, I know you guys are sweating, the teachers are uncomfortable. Yeah, we are, but we're here tonight about the kids because we have students who are missing school, 45 that went home on Friday due directly to the heat. So I'm not asking the school board to do something about the weather. We realize you can't, okay? But we do want you to know this is affecting our students, okay? Plenty of information is in the news. The sports teams and coaches have strict guidelines that they are supposed to abide by to make sure that their teams are well hydrated, in good condition. We're not doing that in the classroom when it's 93 degrees and higher. 27 kids in a room on the 2nd floor coming in after PE class. It is absolutely unbearable. And I feel like the parents have kids coming home probably saying, it is so hot, I don't feel good. And I don't think that the parents realize that it's not just a 6th grader saying, oh, it's hot today, Mom. Because many of us have air conditioning. And so we go in and out of our homes and our offices and, oh, it's really hot today. But you're not in a building for 6 hours and suffering the dizziness, the sweating, the need for them to have drinks, water bottles by 11 o'clock, they're dripping with warm water. And we're not here to say you have to put in air conditioners, because we understand that you're not going to do that for many reasons. But what we are pleading and asking you to do for our students is jump into the 21st century with us and come up with other ways. Air conditioning isn't the only answer. I don't have all of them, nor do my colleagues, but certainly if we're going to be pushing our children and helping them to be ready for the 21st century, we should not be in an environment that is the Stone Age. And that's what it is. It is absolutely miserable. These kids are trying to hold on until the dismissal so that they can go home. And we feel that this needs to be addressed. It's not going away. All districts have been trending to go earlier and earlier. This problem isn't going away. So some things that have come up that we've generated do half-day dismissal for those students who are not in air conditioning classrooms. Maybe rotate buildings Maybe see if City Hall and Stow Public Library would accommodate some of the classrooms to come through so that we can help them be successful. There's no way that these children can be ready for these tests and ready to go in the spring when we're spending 2 and 3 weeks existing. So we are asking that the board step out of the box. We're not saying we need air conditioning. We're saying our students need you to come up with options. We have a great community here, people who I think would be willing to help. We need somebody to take the time to investigate what are the other options and what's going to work. And it's going to take planning and it's going to take cooperation. But I don't think just standing by and saying this is okay is the answer. Or, hey, we've got a trend now, it's going to be 70s this week. I guarantee you my classroom was not 70 because these buildings need 3 to 4 days to cool down. So I'm sure my 3 minutes is up.
It's okay. Whatever up to.
Ms. Steph, I have a question. Are there fans in the rooms?
Yes, and they do blow hot air. I mean, you know, that's why I'm here, because I really want to give you this visual picture of what these kids are going through. And, yeah, the fans are good in the
positioned
morning.
correctly?
Well, I don't know if they're positioned correctly, but they are loud.
They're on the wall.
Some are on the wall.
Right.
And then many of us try to bring in our own, and then you get to do the Irish step dance around cords and not be illegal with the fire department. Yeah, it's really bad.
Okay, I mean, I quite like that, so that's why I was asking you. One of my students once came up with the idea, we had fans on 2 different corners of the room.
I do.
Okay, now that seemed to work for us, but,
Well,
not really a lot, but it was better than nothing.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that happens too is if you're lucky enough to be in a point of the classroom where there might be a cross breeze, you have to be one of 27 that get the seat in front of that slot.
Because the papers are all fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I seem to not be able to keep my mouth shut.
You say your name, where you live.
I'm Jennifer Green, I'm Stow. My son is in a kindergartner at Fish Creek, and only because they're here with such support for this, my kindergartners had to stay home one day and came home with a horrible headache on the couch all night, crying because of the horrible dehydration. So the school's expression on the sides where the sun's beating in really are the worst, but there's not enough circulation, there's not enough heat, and they're not learning in these first couple of weeks. So I would like to know, what is the long-term plan? I know we need a short-term plan, but what's the long-term plan of the board to look at the buildings which we need, which I know cost money, but what's the strategy? How do we get there? How do we rally the community to get hold of the need to build a building so that we can move into the next century where we do have air, like the kids are accustomed to?
Anyone else? Okay. Item number 4, Dr. Jones.
Thanks, Fred. Mispronounced it, I apologize. This past Thursday, there was a situation at the high school in which a graduate pulled in and not thinking had a gun rack in the back of his truck with some rifles. And there was some quick action of a couple of our employees that alerted the administration very quickly. And it's real easy sometimes when you see something that's not right to turn and look the other way. These 2 gentlemen didn't do that, and Mr. Fritz was on the premises, and I want to let him go into a little more detail. We'd like to recognize them for their quick thinking and action.
Yeah, I just wanted to, Mr. President, Board, we went out to check traffic at in high school, and while we were there, we were walking down the back driveway, and the couple of the people that were with me, Joe Zielinski, Ed Weiss, Larry Conley, and Jason Smith, they noticed, specifically Joe, noticed the gun racks and the guns in the back of the truck, and pointed to me and said, you know, look at that, do you see that? And I'm looking at the temporary racks. And he says, oh, look in the back window. And we saw the rifles. And he said, oh my goodness, you know, so that's not right. So we went over and the window was down, the guns were unlatched on the rack, and he would have reached in there to grab the rifle. And so the end result was the guy that was in the school came out, wanted to just hop in his truck and go. He said, no, you can't go. Jason called the school resource officer, and he responded. Chris, the principal from the high school, he came out and basically took care of the situation. But I wanted to point out to everybody that security is everybody's business in the district. Everybody, the teachers, the custodians, administrators, everybody. And so to recognize that, Joe, do you want to come up here and just, no you don't? Well, that's Joe. At least raise your hand and say, I am Joe. All right? And Ed really chickened out, and he decided not even to show up. So, and then Larry's right there, and you know, so it's yeah. I mean, it's good. We need to recognize the potential. I mean, because this happened, we don't know if we stop something. All right. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Nothing happened. Okay, but we don't know. We don't know why the guns were there. We don't know why, you know, the window was open. We don't know any of that. And the fact that the guns were confiscated, he had to drive off without his guns, and he's going to have to go to the police and explain why he wants them back. But they're going to hold on to him for a couple of weeks while they, you know, do further investigation on his background. You know, says a lot that, you know, that they potentially stop something. So I just wanted to, like I said, so I wanted to give Joe a certificate of appreciation because he may have stopped something very serious from happening. And then Ed Weiss was the other one, but he's not here tonight, so I'll give that to him tomorrow morning. But I just wanted to recognize these guys. Thanks.
And next, I'd like to introduce Director of Special Services, Dr. Marty Sadonow, for the Federal Special Education Update.
Good evening. Annually, school districts are required to report to the public information regarding our IDEA, Part B, which are funds that local districts are provided by federal government. These monies are allocated to support our students with special needs, as well as to help districts provide effective programs for students again with disabilities. Currently this year, our district received an allocation of $957,300.56. This is an increase of approximately $4,000 from last year's allocation. I get input from teachers, I also receive input from the principals regarding how our needs of our special education students should be supported, and that helped as far as allocate some of the monies towards our programming. The state of Ohio, we follow the operating standards for educating students with disabilities. One of the requirements is that districts have a continuum of services from least restrictive to the most restrictive of placements for students. I am excited and also very appreciative that our district always tries to educate our students here in their home buildings. However, we do recognize that some of our students have very significant and intensive needs. Therefore, we have to seek programs outside the district. So our allocation this year, some of our money is going towards those programs. We have a student that is educated at Kids Link, which is a program for students with autism. BLIC also has one of our students, again, a student with significant behavioral and emotional concerns because of his autism. We also have students that we educate at LEAP, and it is a program that is private run, but it also is structured in a way that some of our students with some emotional and mental health needs are able to be educated there. So the monies go towards our LEAP programming as well. Our inside services that we support students with our allocation are those therapies or related services, such as those that are provided with our occupational therapy and our physical therapy. Also, we have students that are visually impaired that we provide contracted services for a teacher of the blind who comes in and works with our students that require that special care. We also provide our funding towards a full-time mental health social worker at the high school through our child guidance and family solutions. Our monies are also allocated for technology. This year we are able to provide some Chromebooks for some of our teachers that they're able to work with our students on how to use the upcoming park assessment using those computers. Also iPads were provided, as well as other technology that our students receive. We do find that that seems to be one of the most expensive areas. Just today, it came to my attention that one of our students that we have educated in Akron for, in the program for the deaf, she lost one of her boots that connects from her cochlear implant to the FM system, and that boot alone cost the district $900. So it's these little things that I'm glad that we have the money from the federal government to provide those supports. We also provide supplies for our classroom teachers, professional development, such as when we sent our teachers and administration to our PBIS training, teachers that want to have additional support for educating students with autism, as well as our special leadership conference, and any other workshops that teachers ask if they have a need to attend. Some of our salaries are also allocated through the IDA, such as part of my salary, as well as special education supervisor, as well as we had to hire a new teacher last year for a life skills classroom that we opened at Echo Hills, so we're able to fund her salary, as well as part-time for a teacher also that we had to put at Echo Hills because of the number of our students with mild and moderate levels of need. You also find in your packet when you're looking at the budget, you'll see that monies are allocated to Holy Family. Because Holy Family has students that have disabilities and we provide support via a service plan, the federal government gives us money that we're the fiscal agent, and then we oversee the teacher for that program. This year we spent quite a bit of money purchasing updated speech as well as psychological testing protocols. In your packet, I also have information that we follow the allowable and the non-allowable federal guidance for how we utilize and spend that money. And I encourage you at any time, if you have a question or if you have something that you see that perhaps should be considered for us to expend our IDA monies, please contact my office, as well as for the public. If they're interested, I have information for them over there. They as well can feel free to contact my office. Any questions?
Marty, how many students does this take care of? Do you have a figure?
Well, we currently have approximately 605 students on our IEP
program?
Well, this program are just monies that are utilized in order to provide supports for them. It's never enough in order to provide all the supports that our students need. Of course, we have money that has to come out of our general fund in order to support them. And that's one of the requirements in that the federal government, it's called our maintenance effort. We need to provide more funds out of our general fund than what are allocated out of the federal funds. They want to see that we are maintaining an effort to support our students and not just with federal monies. So I'm not sure that answered your question, but we're doing the best that we can with the monies that we're given.
No, I think basically what we're looking at is $710,000 out of the $957,000. $710 out of the $957 is for purchase services, which were the ones that you listed here. Are most of the purchase services for like a Blake Clinic and Harvard Education?
Yeah, right now it's not covering 100% of those costs.
They're not covering 100%.
No, we wouldn't have enough money for us to do that.
Most of
Because we have kids
No.
with.
Plus, we also expend over $425,000 towards our preschool programming at ESC.
Yeah, I mean, but 600 kids, that's not covering. I mean, basically, those are.
These are our most
These are the
intensive.
ones that are like, this might be like 20 or 30 individuals who are requiring these particular purchase services.
Approximately that much.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
for those outside programs, as well as Our OT and physical therapy costs are exceedingly high. And that, especially our occupational therapy, we tend to support more of our special education students. Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Any other questions? Thank you. Thanks, Mary.
Okay, I'd like to move to item number 5, the minutes. We have 3 different meetings, the August 19th, the August 25th, and a special meeting on September 3rd. I would like to break out the August 25th meeting minutes. I'd like to say some comments about that meeting. So I'd like to break that out separately before I vote. Anyone else need any of the other meetings broken out? So I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the August 19th and the September 3rd minutes.
Second.
Motion by second by Mr. Armstrong. Roll.
Mrs. Bedio? Aye. Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
I just want to take a few minutes to talk about the August 25th board meeting that I wasn't at. I want to clarify a few things to the public and also talk to all of us as a board. I've gotten emails, I've had some people approach me. First of all, I want to make it clear that the reason I wasn't there, which I think I told the board a week before the meeting, I was out of town in West Virginia on business. So I made that perfectly clear. I wasn't boycotting a meeting, it wasn't anything like that. Second thing, after watching the video of the meeting was totally legal. So if anyone thinks it was illegal, that was wrong. It was totally legal meeting. You need 3 board members to have a meeting. They were here. So let's get that on the table. That was totally legal. I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine with anything happening. But the only thing now, I would ask all of you 3 of you, Karen's not here, but it's a board of 5. In the future, when there's significant agenda items that we're going to vote on. And I'll give an example, the kindergarten, where Karen made a motion in new business to approve it that night. Surprised you, surprised Jerry. But you had an opportunity to state, you had an opportunity to vote, you had an opportunity to say why you're voting the way you did. Pat, when you were against the director of operations, you had an opportunity to vote, and you had an opportunity to state how you felt and the reason why you're voting the way you did. I didn't get that chance. So, and neither did Karen. So in the future, when we have a significant, I know there's times when someone can't be here, I understand, but we try to make it in the future where all 5 of us are present, because I think I owe it to people who put me in office to give my reason of why I would have voted the way I did at that meeting. Not to say I wouldn't vote against it, but, at least I could have said my piece. That's all I'm going to say about it. We're a board of 5, and there's a reason for that. When you get 3 votes, you get the majority. Whether I agree or not, I will support it because we're a board, and I'll support it. And I have no issue with the new law for it at all. So I just want to make that clear of why. So now I'm ready to make a motion. If there's anybody else who want to.
Just another brief discussion is circumstances just prevailed themselves at that point. Unfortunately, I forgot the.
I get that. I'm not holding any hard grudges or anything like that. I'm a pretty reasonable person, so I just want to say in the future, let's try to be all 5 and there's a
I
significant.
think we may be able to accommodate. We tried to. I know everyone tried to.
Okay, I'm good. So I have a motion to approve the minutes of the August 25, August 25th meeting.
So
So moved by Mrs. Matthews, second by Mrs. Perry. Roll call.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Bedio? Aye.
Moving to item number 6, the superintendent's recommendations. Dr. Jones.
Mr. Bonacci. I have some personnel recommendations, including a couple resignations, employment, certified substitutes, game help, and high school lighting technicians. There's a few leaves of absence, and Also, due to the job fair right before the beginning of the school, a lot of classified movement that's in your packet. So I do wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the certified and classified employee recommendations as presented in Exhibit number 1.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Mr. Armstrong, second by Ms. Stow. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Matthews. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Bedia. Aye. Mr. Benacci.
Aye.
Item B is the math textbook adoption. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the math textbook adoption.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Matthews, second by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call, please.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Bedia. Aye. Mr. Benacci.
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews. Aye.
Item C is the building use for elections. I wish to recommend the Board of Education authorize Suffolk County Board of Elections to use Echo Hills, Woodland, Lakeview, and Kimpton at no cost for a pre-election meeting on November 3rd, 2014, and for public voting on November 4th, 2014, as presented in Exhibit number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Stow, second by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mrs. Bedia. Aye. Mr. Benacci.
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Item D, I wish to recommend the Board of Education enroll in the Ohio School Council's Group Retrospective Rating Program with Shakely Uniser effective January 1, 2015 through December 31, 2015, as presented in Exhibit number 3.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Matthews, second by Mr. Bedia. Roll call.
Mr. Benacci.
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Bedia. Aye.
Item E is written authorization for CCW. I wish to recommend the Board of Education to the following police officers written authorization to carry a firearm and any operationally necessary law enforcement equipment within the school while they are off duty pursuant to ORC Section 2923-122, the General Free Schools Act 18 U.S.C. subsection. I'm not going to do the rest. These are just new officers, newly hired officers from one of the departments.
That's what I was going to ask. These are all new, are both for Mill Falls and
Yeah.
Stow.
Representing both departments.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Stow, second by Jerry. Jerry.
Mrs. Matthews. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Bedia. Aye. Mr. Benacci.
Aye.
Item F is disposal of equipment. We have 2 school buses that we'll be putting up for auction as part of our replacement program. I wish to recommend the Board of Education for the disposal of miscellaneous items in accordance with Board Policy 7310. Copies available in treasurer's office.
I have a matter of discussion on disposal of equipment when we had a meeting in June. I think that instead of the board having to go to board office, that it either be put on a PDF, that we can look at it, or that we get a hard copy of what you're getting, so we know what we're going on.
More detailed.
Yeah.
Print that out.
Now, these buses will be at auction.
Yeah.
Taken to auction.
Bus movers. On my own.
It's something for them. At least scrap value is better.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Bedia, second by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Bedia. Aye. Mr. Benacci.
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews. Aye.
Item G is gifts. I wish to recommend the Board of Education for the following gifts. Chris Boatsman donated 24 boxes of writing paper, donated approximately $150 to the Fish Creek Elementary School. Fish Creek Elementary PTA donated 3 iPad covers, 2 iPads, rubber mulch for the playground, and 1 amplification system valued at $8,136.87. Munroe Falls Lions Club donated $350 to the Kimpton STEM Club, and Cliffwire Keelhauer's Canoe Club donated $75 to Munroe Falls High School.
On the agenda, I think it says 8,000. But is it 3,000?
No, he said 8,000. It is 8,000.
It is 8,000? Okay, you said 3, right?
No,
Oh,
no.
you said 8,000. I thought I heard 3, and I'm like, okay.
I think
I'm
we need
sorry.
to really owe a big thank you to
That's
all of
awesome.
them.
Is that
That's awesome. That's a lot of work they put into that.
Playground amplification, rubber mulch. Rubber mulch is very expensive. That's great.
That's awesome.
Very good. Thank you, Fish Creek.
Yeah.
Fish Creek here? No Fish Creek? Yeah, Fish Creek's here. Couple.
Well, so moved.
Second.
Moved by myself, second by Mr. Carson. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bedio? Aye. Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Yep.
Item 7, any old business for the board here? Any new business?
Oh, I just want to make sure I had a question. I'm here to announce tonight that I've shared with the Board of Education that I'm planning to retire as superintendent effective January 30th of 2015. I have been eligible for some time, and it's a matter of trying to figure out what made sense. My goal was to get the school year started this year, get the plane up in the air, and then make that announcement. And I think the time's right. When Mr. Vandenbolt gave me the keys in February 1st, 2006, I'll be turning them over to the next superintendent, and it'll be almost 9 years to the day. And it has truly, truly been my honor to serve as your superintendent. And when I first got here, I really thought, I'll be here 3 or 4 years or so and move on to the next one. But the problem was I fell in love with the place. And proud to retire as your superintendent. I promise I will hit the finish line running in January and do the best I can to make the best decisions for our children through that time. I'll be here through the holidays, and then I wanted to make sure I was available for any transition the board sets up. It's also the timing. It's also important to me that I give the board enough time to do a thoughtful, thorough search, and make sure they have plenty of time to do that, because it's my hope that we get the best person out there and we can take this to even another level. And again, I stand here ready for any kind of transition the board wishes. But again, it's been my honor, and I've always been so proud to say I'm the superintendent of Stow and Munroe Fall Schools. Thanks.
Make a motion to accept Dr. Jones' retirement.
Second.
Armstrong. Roll call.
Discussion.
No discussion. All right, very good.
Russ, I'd like to thank you for your time, your dedication over the last 9 years. I wish you well going forward here, and we're ready to move on, I hope, as we start our busy search.
Well, I was hoping to get out of all the snow day season, but I'm afraid I'm going to be stuck with some of it.
Yeah, you're going to call for snow days, we're going to have to make them up.
I have to agree with Rod. You have taken us very far academically, and I'm sure our parents and our children appreciate all your efforts in doing that. And I'm glad you're going to be here until January 31st, and I'm sure Mrs. O'Brace is going to be there, so that you two can work together with that transition, and it's for the good of the students. Thank you.
Yes, I've known you a long time, but the last 2.5 years to be on the board, we've been a lot closer. It was 7 o'clock call, and I'm driving to work every day, I call and talk to you about stuff. But your dedication to this district, the teachers, employees, its students, it's tremendous. It's been an honor working with you. You're a good friend, good colleague, and mission. And but I wish you the best on your the next second of your life, whatever that'll be. I'm kind of jealous when it's, the blizzard out, you just roll over in bed. Good for you, you deserve it, and wish you the best. I really do.
Just one question, you going to give us your cell phone number like Karen Wood?
Of course.
Of course, I don't know about that.
Always do.
I would be remiss if I didn't also thank Dr. Jones for his leadership. He was superintendent when I started in August of '07, and I think together we've been a great team. We've been able to accomplish a lot and take this district to the level it's at, and we hope to go further. So I thank Dr. Jones.
Catherine and I were talking about it, and I didn't do everything by myself. And, she and I have been a team for a long, long time, and we can both point to a lot of excellent accomplishments that we're all very, very proud of, but we couldn't have done it without each other. So it's, the key is so critical that superintendent treasurer work together, and we've done that for a long time very well, and I think that's a real strength. So I appreciate all your efforts.
I'd like to say I wish you well, and you get out of commencement again this year. Thank you.
I don't know, he has a daughter graduating, he might be.
I'll be there.
I mean, he'll be going
Yeah,
on
but
that.
he's in the audience, he doesn't have to do the work.
Someday he might not get on that stage. His daughter up there, so.
Mr. Bonacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Matthews?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Bedia?
Aye.
Any need for possible executive sessions? All right, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Mr. Armstrong, second by Mrs. Matthews, roll call please.